The psychology of people who don't celebrate their birthday. Have you ever noticed that some people go out of their way to hide their birthday? No countdown, no celebration, no party. Sometimes they don't even tell anyone it's their special day. At first glance, it can seem strange. After all, birthdays are supposed to be happy occasions. They're meant to be a celebration of life. But the truth is, for some people, birthdays bring up emotions that are far more complicated than most people realize. Think about it. A birthday isn't just a reminder that you're getting older. It's also a mirror. It quietly forces you to look at your life and ask difficult questions. Am I where I thought I would be? Have I achieved what I wanted? Have I become the person I hoped to become? For some people, those questions are uncomfortable. Others grew up in homes where birthdays were never a big deal. Maybe nobody remembered. Maybe celebrations were rare. Over time, they learned not to expect anything. What looks like indifference today may simply be a habit formed years ago. Then there are the people who dislike being the center of attention. They appreciate their friends and family, but they feel awkward when everyone suddenly focuses on them. The messages, the calls, the singing, the social media posts, it can feel overwhelming rather than enjoyable. But perhaps the most interesting group is the people who claim they don't care about birthdays at all. Sometimes they genuinely don't, and sometimes they do. They've just learned to protect themselves from disappointment. Because nothing hurts quite like hoping someone remembers and discovering that they didn't. Over the years, some people stop expecting. They stop mentioning their birthday. They convince themselves it doesn't matter. Not because they don't want to be celebrated, but because not expecting feels safer than being let down. And then there are those who see life differently. They don't believe one day should determine their happiness. They prefer quiet gratitude over public celebration. They celebrate progress, relationships, and personal growth throughout the year, rather than on a single date. The psychology of people who don't celebrate their birthdays reminds us of something important. People's actions often tell only part of the story. The person who skips the party may be perfectly content, or they may be carrying memories, disappointments, or perspectives that nobody else can see. That's why understanding people is so much more valuable than judging them. Because sometimes behind a simple, "I don't celebrate birthdays," lies an entire story that was never spoken out loud. And maybe the next time you meet someone like that, instead of wondering what's wrong with them, you'll wonder what they've experienced. Sometimes the quietest people have the deepest reasons. Thanks for listening. And until next time, remember, every behavior has a story, and every story deserves understanding.